Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and my name is Jay Garewal, and today I'm going to tell you a story called She Lives in the Lake. My uncle owns a cabin in the mountainous region. I used to visit this cabin every year as a child, but now it's been almost 4 years since I was last there. I was 18 at that time. I'm really busy with my college and part-time job now. Perks of being 22 years old. You know, I was in my room scrolling on my phone just to take a bit of break from the college assignment I was trying to complete since that morning. I left my phone in the room and went to washroom to pee. Just then I heard my ringtone. The phone was ringing. I came outside to a missed call from my uncle. I asked him back. I called him back and he asked me if I want to hang out with him for a week at his cabin I used to visit as a child. I had so much going on, but it had been 2 years since I had taken any vacation. I said to myself, fuck it, I'm going, and said yes to him. He wanted to meet at cabin exactly 2 days from then. I was really excited, not exactly to visit the cabin, but just that I'll get to be away from all this busyness for at least a week. I started packing my bags, charger, clothes, toothbrush, etc. and slept early, thinking I'll start my journey via train to this town early the next day, and by evening I'll reach, and the next day uncle will be there. I mean, since 10 years the extra keys place is fixed in the post box, so entering it wouldn't be a problem. The next morning I woke up around 5 a.m. and by 7 I was waiting for my train, which arrived right on time. I enjoyed the journey as the scenery from the window seat was slowly changing from sky-rise buildings to empty fields, mountains, forests, rivers, etc. For me, it had been at least 4 years since I was watching nature from that close. I finally was able to complete the horror novel I was trying to read since months, but wasn't getting time to do so. After finishing my novel, I looked outside the window. The sky had a pink shade to it. We were losing sunlight, and just then the lights inside the train were turned on. It didn't take more than 10 minutes from then that I had finally made it to my stop. Got outside and looking at the location that had changed a bit but was still feeling familiar made me feel very nostalgic. It was a bit longer walk to the cabin, but lost in my memories, that 20-minute walk was piece of cake. And I also got a chance to buy some cold drink and snacks on my way from a grocery store that was barely standing. It literally looked 1,000 years old and has not been renovated since I used to come here as a child. Putting all the snacks in my backpack, I started walking again, and finally, I was there. The place I loved the most since childhood, my uncle's cabin. I got inside and it was still exactly the same. Like time didn't existed in here. All the things were exactly where they were a few years back. Same old box TV, faded paint, creaking wooden floor. I was really tired from all walking and waking up early in the morning, so I just ate some chips and went to bed thinking we'll have proper breakfast when uncle will come in the morning. It has been years since I was this calm, no stress at all in my mind, and I slept like a baby, but not for long. I woke up because someone was knocking on the door. I was so irritated and ready to yell at whoever that was, as I opened my eyes. Went for my phone, I realized it was 3:33 a.m. Who the hell is knocking on the door at this time? My anger turned to fear, and pretending to be strong, I tried to deepen my voice and ask, "Who is it?" I didn't get any answer. The knocking had stopped. By now, I looked outside from the peephole. It was just dim, moonlit forest and a lake right in front of the cabin, around 50 meters away, with no sign of any human. To make sense, I told myself that somehow some animal might have been there, whose sound of the moment I have mistaken for knocks. However, I didn't want it to take any risks, so I double-checked all the doors and windows. Everything was perfectly locked, and I was safe inside, so I went back to sleep. The next morning, I woke up, went to pee, and cooked some eggs for me and uncle, who might be coming at any moment now. I decided to watch some TV to pass time. As I went into the living room, my heart skipped a beat. The main door of the cabin was wide open. I had checked it twice at night, and I didn't even come in the living room since morning. Is my uncle already in here? But why didn't he close the door behind him? I mean, we are literally in the middle of a forest. I yelled, "Uncle, are you here?" No answer. I closed the door and didn't know what to think, so I just thought somehow wind was the culprit. The door was locked from inside, but still, let's blame the wind. I took my phone out to call and ask him when was he going to arrive, but he had already texted me that he got stuck somewhere and can't really come for another 2 days. What am I gonna do here all alone for 2 days? I thought to myself. But then I realized at least I don't have to make any assignments or go to job for a week, so that's a plus. I took out my favorite shirt. It was designed like a sports jersey with the number 7 on both front and back sides, and wearing it, I went outside for a stroll through the trails in the forest. The nature felt really calming. I came across the same grocery shop again and went to buy some more snacks. There was a newspaper on the counter, and there was a picture of a girl in it. She was blonde with blue eyes. It said something about her 4th death anniversary. I felt intrigued and started reading the article. She was kidnapped in this same area, was sexually assaulted and murdered by some shitty local goons. My reading was interrupted by the shopkeeper. Such a sad thing that girl had to go through all that. I agreed and asked him what happened to the goons. Were they caught? Were they punished? He shushed me and said, "Don't talk about it. The locals are really weird about it." I got my snacks and started towards the cabin again. Watching TV, scrolling phone, reading books, nothing felt entertaining as that girl was fixed in my mind, and I could not get rid of her face in my mind. I didn't even realize it was night again. Went to bed and I was watching her again in my dream. Well, not dream to be exact, more like a nightmare. She was standing right there in front of me, and all I could feel in her lifeless eyes was hatred for me, as if I am the one who has done something wrong with her. And just as she ran towards me to attack me in my nightmare, I woke up, screaming and breathing heavily. I was still trying to get my composure back, main door was locked again. It was freezing in there, even though it's not winter yet. This time I didn't say anything. Hiding myself under the sheets, I just pretended not to exist. And I think that actually worked, because after 3-4 times the knocking had stopped. I waited for maybe 10 minutes or so, then looked out of the window beside the main door. But again, no one was there. I double checked the doors and windows if everything is locked, and yes, they were. So I went back to bed. The next morning, yes, the main door was opened again. Now things are terrifying. I just sat in my room the whole day and didn't go out. Even going to toilet felt like going to war. That night, again at around 9-10 p.m., I heard the knocking on door. Once, twice. I was terrified. Gathered every ounce of courage I had and yelled, "Who's there?" in a shaking, high-pitched voice. "It's me," a voice answered back, for the first time. This voice was familiar though. My uncle. He was finally here. I opened the door and had a sigh of relief that I am not alone here in this place. Uncle looked at me and asked me, "What's wrong with you? You look like you have seen a ghost." I just pretended to chuckle instead of explaining what was really going on since 2 days. "Let's go," he said, to which I asked, where? "Let's swim in the lake." "Now?" I said hastily, to which he said, "Why not? It's so bright out there. It's a full moon night and we both are expert swimmers. It would be fun." It wasn't that cold either outside, but inside the cabin, don't know why, it was always freezing. Because someone was with me, now all the creepy feeling was gone, and I was finally ready to have fun. So without being a pain, I said yes, let's go to swim. We took some towels with us and went to the lake at around 11ish or midnight. It was really nostalgic for me and I was really enjoying myself. Uncle told me that he was just gonna go to bathroom in the cabin, and he started swimming towards the shore. Now that I was left alone in the water, I started to get that feeling again. The water became slimy all of a sudden, and fear in my mind started to take over. It felt like the water was trying to crush me from all sides. You know the feeling if you are being surrounded by sharks and there is not much that you can do now. I was breathing really heavy, and a thought kept rolling in my mind that something underneath is trying to get me, that I'm not alone. I decided to get out of water, and as I was swimming towards the shore, I saw something that would give me trauma for whole my life. You can't even forget something like that. A head coming from beneath the water, just enough that nose was outside to breathe. I knew what I was seeing, and I wish no one else in this world should share this experience. It was a girl, the same girl I saw in the newspaper. 2 eyeless holes engraved inside her skull were full of hatred, and I didn't know what to do. Just then I heard my uncle's voice asking if I was alright from afar. I looked at him with utter panic and looked back to find that the blonde girl was gone. This was enough to make me believe that whatever I was feeling was true, and I decided to gather more information about her and help her restless soul if I can. And that's it for today, guys. Part 2 of this story will be here next week, so do subscribe to the channel and like and comment on this video to let me know what you think about it. I'll see you next week, and till then, stay spooky.